Is technology a threat to our kids? Well, this is what I'm going to be talking about on this channel in this episode. Welcome. My name is Roland, and welcome to the Child Friendly Guy channel, a channel where we talk about young people, technology, and the internet. So welcome, and I am so excited to be talking about this today because I think it's so important. There are new technologies coming out, and it is just growing and growing. It is not stopping. And I read something very interesting in the news actually. So Marvel Studios has brought out the new series, which is called the Secret Invasion. Now, it was leaked that the opening credits was actually generated by AI, and of course there was people were up in arms, were angry about this because they thought that Marvel, as big as they are with all the money in the world, actually got this AI tools and whatever it is, and they just basically took away all the artists and whatever, and then they just use AI. They put in a command and this thing spit out images and so on and so on. And of course they were angry about this, saying, hey, you guys, you can't do this, you know, you got all the money and how can you lay off staff and all these things? But this was not the case, because then Marvel then comes and say, no, this is not the case. This is a highly collaborative process with our partners. And so what happened is they took this job and gave a company called Method Studios, and these guys are visual artists, and they created the opening credits for this series, and they have created visual effects for big movies. So Method Studios comes out as well, and they also come on and say, hey, no, we didn't just put a command in AI and it spit out images or whatever. No. It was a collaborative process. There were artists, there were people involved, and anyway, they put out their own statement. And I want to read their statement, not the whole one, but part of it, because I think there's some important things we can take away from their statement. And they say, like I said, I'll read a part of it. And it says, the production process was highly collaborative and iterative, with a dedicated focus on this specific application of an AI toolset. It involved a tremendous effort by talented art directors, animators proficient in both 2D and 3D, artists and developers who employed conventional techniques to craft all the other aspects of the project. However, it is crucial to emphasize that while the AI component provided optimal results, AI is just one tool among the array of tool sets our artists used. No artist's jobs were replaced by incorporating these new tools. Instead, they complemented and assisted our creative teams. Now, this is very interesting, and I like to choose the word conundrum, because this is where we are at. Because on this side, so people were thinking that they replaced all the artists and everything they said, and they say no, with the help of artists and designers, we came up and did this job together, and we used this specific AI tool as a tool. It was a tool, and this is where we need to learn, and this is one thing that we can start teaching our young people, our children, especially with these new emerging technologies. AI is just one of them. These new tools are not meant to replace, so if our kids are using AI or whatever it is to replace their creativity, the ability to work, then that's where it's wrong, because it's not. This is where it's not meant to replace. It's a tool. It's meant to to intensify or to highlight each person's creativity, each person's uniqueness. And when we understand that, then things can get better for us, right? And especially for young people, because how many stories have you heard of college students and young people just putting commands in AI, and it's just generating essays and work, and they think it's done, and that's just laziness. And this is where the downside to these emerging technologies are. But again, it's training our young people, it's training our children to say, hey, these new technologies are tools. Just like if you were a creative designer or designer online, and like you use Adobe, there's other program that you use to create, to draw, like, and it's nothing wrong with that, right? But you know how to use them. It's not to replace the person, not to replace your creativity, not an opportunity not to think and to be lazy and to cheat. That's where it's wrong. But again, we need to teach our children that it's not about replacing, but it's a tool to amplify our creativity, to amplify our uniqueness. And we need to teach our young people these things. We need to teach our kids about this. AI is, again, there's a good side and a bad side, right? It can be dangerous, but there is benefits. There are good sides to it, and we need to teach them these things. And I have got so much more to talk about this, so I cannot wait for next week where I dig even deeper into this. But remember, it's not to replace us or to replace our creativity and our uniqueness, but it's a tool. Emerging technology are tools we can use to amplify who we are, our creativity, and that's what we need to be teaching our young people. Anyway, that's it for this episode. I will see you next week. Goodbye.